When it comes to the military bases and outposts of the Galactic Civil War, as much as I love the imperial brutalist aesthetic, I think the facilities of the Rebel Alliance will always be my favorite. There's something very endearing about these ramshackle, hastily constructed bases designed more to blend into an environment rather than dominating it. Between the Great Temple on Yavin 4, the trench networks on Crate, and even the resistance bases on Dakar and Agent Kloss, they all just look really cool. But between all of them, I think Echo Base on Hoth is the real standout. Visually, it was just so striking to see this facility carved into what was formerly a Wampa den and then expanded into the surrounding glaciers. A lot of its construction seemed very improvised and seemed like it was on the verge of falling apart, and I think that really spoke to the Rebel Alliance's desperation in trying to hide from the Galactic Empire. I also got the sense that if you were actually stationed there, it might have been something of a miserable experience. Extreme temperatures, an extreme environment, and nothing to do but carve out trenches into ice. There's just a ton of cool details related to Echo Base, but there's one I absolutely hate, and it has to do with how the facility got its name. Now, before the etymology of Echo Base was made publicly available, I had to come up with an explanation on my own. And to me, what made the most sense was that Echo was used in the same context as it is here on Earth, as the fifth code word in a phonetic alphabet. Presumably, there was an Alpha base, a Bravo base, a Charlie base, etc. Now, this was probably never true. I don't recall Yavin 4 ever being referred to as Alpha Base or Charlie Base or whatever, but it made sense to me. But most of all, I really liked the idea that if Echo Base were in fact the fifth major facility constructed by the Rebel Alliance, it raises the immediate question of, well, what happened to the previous four? Maybe they're still out there, or maybe the Battle of Hoth wasn't a one-off. Maybe battles like that have taken place across a number of planets. The rebels show up, they make their base, the Imperials follow, and they have to evacuate, only for it to happen again and again. I thought it was really cool that the nature of the conflict between the Empire and the Rebellion could be hinted at in such a subtle way. And in the absence of any official explanation, who could say for sure that I was wrong about this? But eventually, the official explanation was declassified, and it turns out I was wrong. But while I think my interpretation of the name made a bit of sense and added some cool details to the world, the official explanation is just kinda dumb. Echo Base was named because of the strange acoustics in the caves. That's it. Someone went there, they noticed an echo, so they said, let's call this Echo Base. Normally, my complaints and endless whining is centered around details not being practical or believable or realistic, and I can't lay that same criticism at this explanation. Who's to say whether this is practical or believable? There's plenty of military bases in our world that I'm sure have been given dumb nicknames. I guess I'm mostly just annoyed that I came up with what I thought was a pretty elegant explanation, something that I thought added a bit of detail to the world, only for it to be replaced by a lame one. I kinda would have preferred no explanation at all. Now, I can rationalize this in my head a bit by saying that Echo Base is the official name for all the reasons I gave, whereas the acoustics-based nickname started off as a joke by someone stationed there that eventually took over. Why is it called Echo Base? Oh, because no one can hear anything in here, ha 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 ha. Okay, it's not that great, but still. But that, of course, is just my opinion. And even though I am completely furious over this minor detail and incapable of rational thought, I'd like to hear your opinions. Which explanation for the name of Echo Base do you prefer? Do you think it'd be a pretty miserable experience to be stationed there? Is it ironic that I got this salty over a planet and it wasn't Crate? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, this has been a Templin Dispatch.